Okay, so um, I want to introduce you to what it is I am going to be doing and why I'm making these videos. Do I think I'm the world's greatest artist? Absolutely not. Do I think that I have anything unusual to contribute to the world? Maybe, but don't we all? Um, all I have is a great understanding of how art has helped me throughout my life. And I became an art therapist, but I ended up having a lot of health issues starting when I got COVID in 2022. And then in 2024, I had a stroke. So I had to, in the middle there, 2023, I had to completely stop working because I also have two fake knees, and I have had replacements, and I have had a fusion in my right ankle, and I've also had a replacement in my right ankle. So, and those were all before I had the stroke. So I have a lot of disabilities. I also have ADHD and a lot of mental health issues. I deal with depression, anxiety, and PTSD. I am a domestic violence survivor, and I'm going to be talking about all of these various and sundry things as I make art. Are these tutorials? Sorta. Is this a tutorial site? Sorta. Is it a mental health site? Sorta. Am I a therapist? Not anymore. I retired my license because it is no longer ethical for me to. It's no longer ethical for me to have a therapy license because I have cognitive issues now that I did not have when I was a therapist. I have some memory loss. I have aphasia. It's fluent aphasia. And generally, most people would never really know that I have it, but sometimes I'll get stuck and I can't speak, or I'll say the wrong word. Yeah, so a lot of struggles with that kind of stuff. But I used to be a domestic violence therapist. In fact, I used to be the non-residential services manager in the Santa Fe, there's the aphasia. Santa Fe Domestic Violence Shelter, Esperanza Shelter. I am no longer in New Mexico because I had to go back to where I'm originally from, and I am from Indiana. I won't be using any names in my what do you say? In my videos. That is to protect myself, because my ex-husband had put a gun to my head, and he doesn't know where I live, and I need to keep it that way. And but I will be talking about the PTSD I have. I had it before, but I have it much worse now. And so, yeah, I'm going to talk about being disabled. I'm going to talk about, I used to be a professor. I created a course called Seeing Sideways that is still being taught, not by me. I stopped teaching in 2015 when I went to New Mexico to become an art therapist. And but I still have a great love of creativity, obviously. So I'll be talking about some of that stuff. So it's going to be just a little bit of everything. And and I figured I wanted to create a book called Stroke by Stroke, hence the name of this channel, because I was going to there's the aphasia again. Yep. I was going to write a book about using art therapy and art to help me after my stroke. But I have discovered with my aphasia, it's difficult for me to read anymore, and I used to be a very avid reader. And it's also very, very difficult for me to write because of my aphasia. So I figured, you know, why not make videos? So this is really, it's really the journey of me painting my way back. But I like to take you along. I would like to take you along for the ride with me, because I think we can all use art. And you don't have to be an artist, by the way. As you can see, this is not art that I'm doing. I mean, it is, but it's not, I'm not an artist doing this any more than you would be. All I've done here is I have put water on the watercolor paper and got it nice and wet, and then I am using this is Arches watercolor paper. It's a cold press 140. It is rather pricey, but it's worth it. And sorry, I'm dopping up some water here because it's all running down because I'm at an art table that is angled. This is as flat as I can make it, but I like how things fall down while I'm painting here. Anyway, so that's the paper. It's Arches 140 pound cold press paper, and over here I am using White Nights granulating watercolors, and I can go through the brushes that I was using here if you're interested in that. Anyway, and I used a color here called Rose Mist, and this is my swatch. This came with the watercolors themselves, and right here, Rose Mist, you can see, oops, sorry, I hit the, this is all a work in progress, by the way, trying to do videos. Anyway, Rose Mist, it's kind of blue and a beautiful violet, red violet, and so you can see those two colors are on the page. And I only put one on. So anyway, while this is drying a little bit, because I need for it to dry up a little bit for what I want to do next, I can show my brushes to you. So I can drop half of them on the ground. Bear with me. Oh. I'm also dealing with this hand. I've had carpal tunnel surgery and a trigger finger, and this was done in March of this year. And in 2005, I had gotten a big spiral fracture down this finger. So I have a lot of arthritis in here, and now this is a trigger thumb, and I do have a splint for it, but I'm not wearing it at the moment. Frankly, I can't find it. But anyway, so it makes it sometimes hard to hold things because of this, because I can't, if this joint right here bends, it doesn't want to bend back. So, and why am I telling you all these things? Because I want you to know that you are not alone. You are dealing with your own issues and your own limitations, and it's okay to be disabled and still have a life and have a voice. And so that's what this is for. Yeah, it's for me, of course. This art is all for me. The videos are for me and also, hopefully, for other people. If nobody else comes here and watches any of these videos, that's okay, because I'm really doing them for myself. Like I said, this is my book. It's also kind of like a journal. So I'm going to be very transparent in a lot of stuff. So anyway, this is a set of round watercolor brushes, and they're synthetic squirrel, I think. And they go from, I think this might be, one of these two is the smallest. This is a 2 and this is a 1. So this one is the smallest, and you can see it's a variety of sizes, all the way through, probably this one's the biggest, all the way up to a 12. Okay, and I just got these on Amazon because I live on disability alone. I can't afford very much, so I think this set was like $8, something like that. And I have been collecting brushes pretty much my whole life. I used to be, I do digital art, and so you didn't need brushes so much for that, but I was also a potter. That's my undergraduate, actually, was in ceramics. So I've had brushes for a variety of different uses, and I've just held on to them. And believe it or not, they've made it through all of the various moves I've been in. And this is a 12 filbert. That was what I used to put the water in, or water down. This is just like a Japanese or Chinese brush, and I don't know what size this is. Whoops, sorry, I keep hitting the holder for the phone, so I'm sorry the video might shake a little. I think this says it's a 4. And then of course this is an old toothbrush, and this is great for, ow, okay, I have to use my other hand for that. It's great for spattering things, including cat hair, which I have 6 cats and a dog, so I'm sure they're going to end up in the artwork as well. Always. And then I have like 3 straight flat brushes that I often will use in their varying sizes as well. This is also a 12. This one is an unknown one. It's big. This is a smaller one, also unknown, but you can see those sizes. And I also like filbert brushes. And here we have a 6 and an 8. Okay. I like them for different things. And then I have 2 different sizes of fan brushes. You can see they're very different. And then, oh, and this is an angled brush, and this is a size 5, and this is really fun because you can make interesting shapes with it. And this is also an angle brush, and this is teeny tiny. This is a 1/8 size, so this is good for doing very small detail type stuff. And then speaking of detail, I have a bunch of liner not pens, these are brushes, of various sizes, and like this green one here, this one's a 2, and this one doesn't say. This one is a 3, this one right here, and this one is also a 2. So, and I don't know, even the same sizes, sometimes I get different effects. So, and then I have this little teeny tiny one right here, and this is a 10/0, and this is for very small work. Okay, so yeah, my paper is now much drier than it was, and I don't know if you can see. Let me try to zoom in. Oh, I can't. Hold on, let me see here. Okay, there, whoa, yeah, that's definitely zoomed in. Let me come back There you go. There you can see the color gradation that you can get. And you can see the texture, and that is from the granulating watercolor and also the cold pressed paper. Cold pressed paper has a little bit of a texture to it. I used to have some rough paper that was literally the kind of paper it was, and I loved it, but I've used all that up. Okay, so now I like this because it reminds me of like an aurora or maybe even like a rainstorm or something. And you saw, it was so simple what I did. I literally just put water and then brushed it across the top, and it ran. And then I brushed a little bit across the bottom here. And then, you know, I had to use a dry brush to catch all of the extra water that rolls down the canvas. So, okay, so now what do I want to do? I generally will work very, very, okay, those were my cats, very intuitively, because what I'm doing is I'm painting my emotions. I'm really not painting the picture as much as I am the emotion. But if you want to, you know, do pictures, that's perfectly fine. This is your world. You get to do whatever you want to do. So, yeah, you know, so I'm just adding a little water here in this area. And so, what do I want to do? I'm going to actually come over here and I'm going to get some turquoise rose mist, sort of going along a little bit with that rose theme. And I'm just going to come in here, and this is what I love about these brushes, is I can go with a thin line, or if I press harder, I can get a nice thick line. So yeah, and I will often just do an abstract picture, which this is quite possibly going to be. In fact, I think I just decided that it is. And so yeah, I'm just going, and I just put water, and you can see how it looks very different in the areas. See how soft it is here, because I had already put some water. This, I haven't put any extra water on, so it's a lot harder and crisper. So when I come across, I can get that kind of scattered look, and then when it hit the water again, it showed more pigment and is nice and blended. So that's one of the beautiful things about watercolor. And I don't just do watercolor. I genuinely do watercolor, but I also will do acrylics or pastels or all of the above. You know, I don't believe in too many rules when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I'm going to come up here and, oh, I don't know if you can see, there's a nice dark line that I did not put. It was in this paint. That's what I love about the granulating watercolors, is because you're going to possibly pick up other colors as well. So yeah, you know, and I started with clean water, so it isn't the water. So now I'm just kind of fascinated by that. And I don't know, I'm feeling like I'm soft today. So I really want to do soft things. My electricity was out earlier today. We had tornadoes in Indiana last night. Not where I live, thankfully. But yeah, and the wind has been crazy. You know, it's part of that bomb cyclone thing they were talking about. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm feeling this today for some reason. Okay, and now I'm gonna come back here And let's see here. I'm going to pick up more of that turquoise because I really think that's fun. And it does some other pretty things because it's that turquoise color, but it also has that rose color in it. So I'm just going to do this, and I love just letting the water drip down. And that's literally all I'm doing right now, is just adding water to this. And really, I'm just playing. I don't have anything in mind with this. So, yeah. And this may indeed be about all I do with this picture. You know, just keep playing with the colors, because that's what I feel like doing today. And yeah. So sometimes I might do videos where I don't talk much. Sometimes I might do videos where I won't shut up, like today. It's really going to depend on my mood, but you know, if you are interested in this at all, feel free to follow. And I'm learning as I go. I used to do, I have a master's in media arts and science, as well as art therapy and counseling, so I have 2 master's degrees. And I used to know all kinds of cool technological stuff, but that pretty much stopped in 2015 when I stopped being a professor and went back to being a student to be a therapist. So yeah. Okay, and let's see here. I'm gonna use the dark blue here. It's called Dark Blue Shadows. And there is some lovely cat hair in the paint. That's nice. And you know, I'm just gonna, yeah, wherever I feel like doing this. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. Because all I'm doing is just letting the paint do what the paint does with the water. And I can tell right now, in the future, I'm probably going to put some paper towels at the bottom to catch this. And I think, yeah, I'm going to use, there is a hematite mist, and it's like a dark purple and maroon together. So I'm going to use a little bit of that. And I'm loading the paintbrush with quite a bit of paint. And now I'm just going to give it like a, there you go, yeah, little circle. Yeah. I'm liking that. It's kind of like some weird flowers or something. And that actually makes me pretty happy. And that's the whole point of painting, in my opinion, is to make myself happy. That's why I do it. And that's why I'm doing it to heal myself, because after having a gun to my head and I ended up homeless for a little while, and having all the mental health issues I have and the physical health issues I have, I needed something. I wasn't okay for a while. And there are times I'm still not okay. And that's okay. You know, I don't have to be okay. I can let the art help me be okay. And I have zero expectations of this art when I'm doing it. I am literally just putting paint on paper, using a bunch of water, and watching what happens. And it reminds me that it doesn't matter what's going on in life, really. If I can do this, I can have beauty in my life. And these days, I think that's super, super important. So, well, this is where I'm going to stop this picture. So I hope you found this to be interesting. And if you have any comments, suggestions, criticisms, please try not to be a troll. But if you have to be a troll, that's okay. I guess that's where you are in your life. I'd prefer that you don't, but we'll see how strong I feel if people come and trash me. But you know, do what makes you happy. You can see it's still wet, but I took the phone off of the holder, and yeah, this is how it looks up close. I mean, look at all that beautiful detail. And it kind of it reminds me of flowers, but it isn't flowers, excuse me. But it can be flowers. If I say it's flowers and you say it's flowers, then they're flowers. So, yeah. All right. And I want to leave you with, and I'm sorry, I'm learning all this as I go, so I haven't quite gotten this down to a science just yet, but, and I keep hitting my holder and stuff, but do what makes you happy. That's really fun. That's really important. And of course, there's also the antisocial butterfly and my last flying fur. Yes. So, all right. Happy painting until we meet again. This has been Stroke by Stroke. Stroke by stroke, I'm getting stronger every day. And so will you.